Hey guys, this is Ray Chen again. So today we're gonna talk about the three keys of making a lot of money. These three keys are removing fear, number one. Number two, raise standard. Number three, focus. Okay, so we're gonna go one by one. So again, before I start, subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon. Okay. So number one, remove fear. So believe it or not, I actually did another episode about the name is I think is you're a chicken shit. So a lot of people are actually in fear, but they don't know that they're in fear. So I'm not talking about jumping off a building, or jumping off a pool, swing, so those kind of fear are easy to deal with because you know that you're scared of it, right? Like when I was in the army, I had to jump out of the helicopter, so it was scary, but because we were in a group, so everybody just is jumping one after another. So there's really no way for you to stand there. So you had to jump. There's nothing to get around. There's no way to get around it. Just also give you another example. Like when I was first came to America and I tried to speak English, so I made there was a way I made myself to force myself to speak English, is to get in line to order in Burger King. I still remember there is a Burger King in Roland Heights. So I would get in line, and people would be standing behind me. So that makes sure that I couldn't get out, because if I leave, then that's gonna make myself look stupid, right? But a lot of people, it's hard for them to learn the language because they don't want to make themselves look foolish, right? But this way, the fear of other people, look at me stupid to by leaving the line, is more than the fear of speaking English. So then I would go up there, and once it's my turn, I would go up there and speak English to order, and because it's easy, right? Number one, number two, whatever, right? So those kind of fears is actually easy to deal with. Uh, the kind of fear I'm talking about you need to remove, it's those invisible fears. For example, fear of losing stability. For example, a lot of people, they want to get rich, they want to make a lot of money, they want to start their own business, but they fear that they would not have a stable income, especially with a lot of people that are married, that have kids. So it would be hard, right? That's why another thing about this starting business and doing a startup, or become a business owner, the best time to do it is when you're single, no kids, right? That's the easiest way, because at that time you don't have a lot of burdens, you don't have a lot of mouths to feed, right? So a lot of people actually, I mean, everybody. I'm not saying everybody want to get rich, but there's a lot of people that want to get rich, but they still work on a 9 to 5 job because they're worried. They have the fear of losing that stability, right? So you need to remove that fear of stability. So that's one fear, invisible fear that I can think of, and then another fear that a lot of people have is fear of failure, right? So a lot of times, for example, me and my father, I mean, it's the relationship we had is very pretty typical of the most of the relationship of the son with the father. So he had a, I think his expectation is lower for me, is lower than what the expectation I have for myself. So um but I wanted to do more to have more success. So, and I mean, at the time, I do have a fears of not that I'm not capable of achieving those higher goals, because he was doubting me, and had set a goal that's much lower than the goal I have for myself. So, and I would be worried that what if I achieve uh, don't end up achieving what I wanted to achieve, right? So that's a fear of failure. And another common invisible fear a lot of people have, believe it or not, is fear of success, right? Because when you're successful, that means you're gonna be, leaving your old surrounding. You're gonna be probably leaving your old friends. So I was watching like a documentary about some. Actually, I listened to 50 Cent's book. So he was saying that once he becomes successful, so a lot of people are trying to diss him, and then he kind of left the neighborhood, because people are different. So you're not gonna, once you become successful, once you go to another level, you're gonna have a whole set of different friends. So actually, a lot of people is scared of that. They're scared of leaving their families, leaving their relatives, because most people are lazy, right? Most people are chicken shit. Most people are lazy. Most people, they just want to stay where they are. They don't want to do any hard work. They don't want to become a better, right? So, and because most people are like that, so they're gonna try to pull you down if you try to get to places, right? So a lot of believe it or not, a lot of times people have a fear of being successful because they worry that once they become successful, then their friends and their relatives may not like them anymore, right? So first you need to identify some of this invisible fear that you may have that you don't realize. A lot of people, they're stagnant. They're staying where they're at because of this invisible fear that they're not aware of. That's number one, okay, of the keys to success. Number two, you have to raise the standard. Okay, it's actually not enough for you just to raise the standard of your own. You need to go look at some other higher standard and raise your standard to that standard. For example, for many years, there's nobody in the human world ran a 4 mile, I think 4 minute mile, right? So before that, people thought running the 4 minute mile is impossible, right? But then one day this guy did it. He ran a 4 minute mile. So after that, then everybody's standard changed, right? It become possible in everybody's mind. Then people kept breaking that barrier, right? Some people run even less than 4 minutes, even less than, whatever, less than three some minutes. So if you just relying on your own standard, that's not enough, because if you don't see other examples, you wouldn't think it's possible, right? Let's say if my goal is to always to make $1 million, but of course I have already done that before. And if I say, okay, I want to set my goal to make $1 billion. So if I don't see any other example, even I say that to myself, but it still sounds, unrealistic, because I have never seen anybody done it before. But if I have seen people that have done it before, for example, a couple of days ago, I watched, Justin Khan. He sold his company Twitch to Amazon for $9.7 billion, right? So that's a guy. He's an Asian guy too. He's even younger than me. He did it, right? So if I see somebody like that did it, then to me, to set a standard like that would be much realistic, because I've seen somebody witness somebody do it, right? So first you want to raise your standard, and then you want to, once you raise your standard, then you have a gap, right? Then you see that what you're doing now is not as it's not as good, it's not enough. Then you would have the motivation to go close that gap, right? For example, I tell myself, hey, so I have a goal of for example, making however much of money. So I set a goal for my hourly income should be $1,000. So if that's my goal, then I would only do the job that's gonna make me $1,000 an hour, right? The task. So it's very important that you want to raise your standard. For example, I can tell myself, okay, I'm not gonna drive a Toyota. I'm only gonna drive a Mercedes, whatever. So when you change that standard, then you have a gap. Then when you have a gap, then you have a motivation to go after it, to close that gap, right? So that's the importance of having a high standard. It could be anything. It could be the car you drive, from the food you eat, from the house you live in, everything, right? So that's number two of the key to success. The number three key to success, it's focus. So you have to be focused. So once you remove the fear, once you raise the standard and you create a gap, then you're gonna go after the gap. But in order to go after that gap, you need to be focused. You need to be 100% focused. You cannot be, I have this goal, I have that goal, I want to do this today, I want to do that tomorrow. You cannot do that, right? For example, my goal right now is because I have two businesses, right? One business I have is a real estate brokerage business, basically representing mostly homeowners to sell their home. Sometimes homeowners buy their home. So for that, I have a goal, right? For example, my goal is to sell at least 50 homes a year, right? So that's the goal I have for my real estate brokerage business. And the goal I have for my real estate investment business is to own 1,000 units of income property, right? So now I'm focused, right? So every day, all the activity that I'm involved in, it's aligned with those two goals. But actually, more so is the investment goal, because on the real estate brokerage side of business, I have people, I have staff that's helping me to move along in the real estate brokerage side of business. So on the real estate investment side of business, I'm focusing that, right? I focus in getting the deals, right? So every day my focus is getting the deals. Dial the numbers, call the homeowners, call the property owners to see if they want to sell. So my daily activity is aligned with that goal, and it's focused. Every day I'm focused in achieving that goal, right? So because I'm focused in achieving that goal, then that goal is gonna get achieved because I'm focused in doing it. So every day I'm working on closing that gap. One day by day, month by month, week by week, right? So just to recap, the key to to success. Number one, remove the fear. Number two, raise the standard. Number three, focus. Right? Actually, wow, I didn't expect to talk for this long. Anyway, click to my channel, subscribe to my channel, and like my video and click on the bell icon. Okay, this is Ray Chen.